Hello everyone, my name is Vasily Sachnev. So I am a professor from Department of Information Communication and Electronics Engineering, and today I am going to introduce you a new course called Real-Time Operation System. So today we will talk about our class in detail. So I will tell you exactly what we will do, how will we process different topics, different study decision related to our class. And yeah, let's start. Let's start from the class outline, like today lecture outline. So once again, like today, we will like just briefly discuss what exactly will going on in our class. So through the talk, you can get some extra link. So and if you're really interesting, so you can also like use those links and extend your knowledge. So anyway, so what we will talk about today. So the class subject. So definitely we will need to understand what exactly is the topic of discuss. So what we will do. So the class structure. So that may be a little bit more interesting because the structure of programming classes, especially for Android programming, so will be slightly different compared to what you usually had before. So and we will definitely need to discuss what is that. So the class details. Once again, as long as this class is the programming class, so definitely we will need to talk about the programming tools. So about the material, so technically what exactly we need in order to process and discuss and study the different objects related to the real-time operation system class. So once again, as long as this class is practical and programming class, so we will need to use the source code. So for discussion, like for our class procedure. And during the class, we definitely will discuss different source code. So in the class, we will create source code, and for sure, the source code will be tested. So now, in order to organize our class better, so during the course, so we will solve different problem and task. So as long as we will handle Android programming for our class, and the Android programming is designed for making application for the different mobile devices. So such kind of task will be highly connected to the mobile device. So later we will discuss what exactly problem and task, what is example of those problem and tasks. So and the final topic for today so will be the exams and evaluation. So here will be no big difference compared to the general classes what you had before. Okay, so now one by one, let's just talk about the most necessary components of the real-time operation system class. Okay, let's start from the class subject. Okay, so here we will have to start talk from what exactly is Android programming. So you know that Android devices like Android mobile phones, so they are leading in the smartphone market. So most probably in your hand, where is the Android phone? So probability that you have Android phone is pretty high. So in Korea, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 70%. So, and in this class, we are going to create application for your Android smart devices. So this is not only the smartphone, everything, all devices powered by Android operation system will be possible to code and program using this class material. And finally, again, if you do have Android smartphone, so you will be able to create simplest Android application. So after some time, you will be able to make more and more complex application, and at the end of the course, so your programming skills will be good enough in order to make your own application using Android programming. So here I start talking about the Android programming. Maybe better to just extend that particular talk and say a little bit more what is exactly the structure of coding using Android. And here we will have to say that I will have to say that Android programming is actually using Java programming. So here I'm supposed to say that Java programming for Android is different compared to the general Java, what you may already know. So means that if you already not advanced, like let's say medium level user of Android of Java programming, so that knowledge may not be good enough in order to code everything using the Android programming. So Android is using Java language for coding, but that particular language is not exactly the same. So what is same is only the syntaxes, but deep inside Java for Android programming is very different compared to the general Java for general programming purposes. So that's why I will recommend this class for actually for everybody. So even if you do have a knowledge in Java programming, this class will be still interesting because here we will 100% focus on Java programming for Android application. So you may get some extra knowledge about a few different functions designed specifically for Android programming. So, and that will be very interesting in some sense. Okay, so that's why if you don't know anything about Java programming, so this is still okay because we will start from the very beginning and one by one, so we will extend our knowledge to be fluent in Android programming. So in that sense, there is no any limitation in terms of the programming skills. So even if your skills is very limited, you still can join the class and you will not feel any discomfort of like for study that particular subject. Okay, but anyway, you're supposed to know that in Android programming, we are using the Java language. So, and definitely we will focus on study some specific aspects of Java. And by using those knowledge, we will create different applications. Okay, the next one is the Android programming practice. So actually, where is the difference in between Java for Android and Android programming? So Android programming usually is much wider. So in order to be fluent in Android programming, so we definitely need to first focus on Java and at least understand how does Java works and make specific steps like to be sure that all of the components of Java programming for Android is clear. So once this step is finished, so we can go to the Android programming practice. So what is the Android programming practice? So during the class, we will define a specific problem to solve, and we will try to solve that problem using Android programming. So we will finally create an application for mobile phone. Again, few examples of such problems and implementation final result will be given a little bit later. Okay, so now programming skills training. As long as this class mostly focused on programming with the mobile devices, so definitely we will have to focus on our programming skills as well. So for sure, like all of you guys do not have equal programming skills, but in order to succeed, in order to make certain coding for our class, definitely we will need to focus on improving our programming skills. So that's why there is one extra target here, programming skills training. So, and during the class, again, through solving the different problems, we will try to enhance our programming skills. And at the end, again, your ability of do coding, different coding must be improved, and that will be again the final result of our class. So how will we process, how will we schedule our application, like how will we schedule our class in terms of making different applications? As long as our initial knowledge about Android programming is again very limited, so some of you may not even saw that before. So that's why we will start from the very simplest Android application, so which is like very first. So the most reliable, the most simplest what is possible to make, and from that step we will start making our first Android application. So right here I will also need to say that coding in Android, sometimes this is not even the first step. So there is one step behind, where just in order to start making the coding and programming your mobile device, we will have to solve a few extra issues related to the installing necessary drivers, so if necessary. So making sure that your Android Studio is perfectly matched with your mobile phone. This is again not always clear, and definitely we will need to talk about it. So, and at the end, when all of those side problem solved, so we can start coding in our mobile device, and finally that will be our one of the target for this class. So make sure that everything is perfectly fine design for Android programming, for programming using Android Studio, what we will talk a little bit later. Okay, so what kind of application we will make? So we will start from the simplest Android application, and after that, step by step, one by one, so we will increase the complexity of that application. So, and as result, so we will start focusing on Android programming practice and programming skills training. So by solving more and more complex applications. So by creating more and more complex application, and that application will focus on solving different tasks, different problems. So that will be our first set of applications, so what we are going to create. So the second set of application will involve computer graphics. So this is very interesting topic. So it's involved a lot of components what we will need to discuss, and again, in order to start programming graphics, so we will definitely need to get enough level of like Android programming practice, enough level of the programming skills. So, and after that we can discuss and try computer graphics. There are a lot of interesting problems related to the computer graphics. So, and in the beginning, we will start from the very simplest one, and one by one, we will increase the complexity of that application. So finally, you can create any graphical objects what you want using Android programming for your mobile devices. Okay, and at the end, so that will happen at the end of the semester. So we will discuss application with animation. So this is the graphical application. So where instead of displaying the static objects, so we will see some movement. So such kind of effects called animation, and at the end of the course, we will discuss how to code animation for Android programming. Okay, so now let's talk about the necessary software, what we will have to use for our course. So the software has been designed by Google, and the name of that software is the Android Studio. So now let's start talking about the Android Studio a little bit. So the first of all, this is the, as you can see here, this is the completely free software from Google for programming purposes. So that particular Android Studio is designed only for making application for Android for different devices powered by the Android operation system, such as smartphones, different tablets that can be also the smart watches, different IoT devices, and many others. For example, right now there are many TV boxes powered by Android. So, and to design different app for that particular devices, we can use the Android Studio. So for the full details about the Android Studio, you can go to the developer's website, developerandroid.com. Okay, so here, developersandroid.com, it is link you to that particular page, and here you can see a lot of information about the Android Studio, about the different developer guides, and many others. So such kind of platform is almost perfect for different learning processing. So that's why during our class we will link to that particular website quite often. So that's why I'm giving you the link. So a lot of materials for study, you can get it directly from the developer's website. There is only one problem with the developer's website. Even if they want to make that particular source for the beginners, sometimes it is not always easy to follow what they already mentioned here. So even if they try to systemize that particular explanation, but there are a lot of redundancy right here. So that's why my target for this class is to systemize it as much as I can and give the material in a little bit better shape as it is designed for the for Google by using the developer's website. Okay, but again, we will link to that website quite often. Okay, remember that this site exists. So now, so the next what will be very necessary to do is to trying to install Android Studio. As long as Android Studio will be our main programming tools for this course, so you're supposed to install Android Studio on your device. So if you do have a laptop, so this is the perfect situation. Please install Android Studio on your own laptop. So and then later when we will process the practical classes, so you can easily get access to all of your applications, what you already design and try by yourself. So using the university computers will be a little bit harder. So, but again, that topics we will discuss later. So when we will finally meet in the computer rooms. So, and right here, where is the YouTube video design to help you in installation process of the Android Studio. So just link here into that YouTube video and just follow the instruction one by one that must help you in installation process. So finally, you will have to be able to launch your own application. Okay, now maybe better to start. As long as we are talking about the Android Studio, so here is the example of Android Studio interface. So as you can see, design is pretty normal, so there is nothing special here. So Java, C++, C# programming based on the Visual Studio looks pretty much similar. In that sense, there is no big difference compared to the general programming tools. So, and that makes the usage of Android Studio is a little bit more friendly compared to the other tools, what you may find. So anyway, so the platform is pretty normal. So right here we can see the all necessary related files for our project. So here there is the interface related to the creating our application actually right here. So this application will display hello world. Again, for the details, just go to the another video what I just link here. So that will display you what exactly is going on. Okay, so like many files. So this is the source code. So this is the test application. So that's why the source code is technically empty. So, but anyway, during our course, so we will study and use that particular software. I will explain exactly what all of those components here and how to do the proper programming. Okay, so that will be our first and the very beginning step to start making application for Android Studio. Now, what will be the next step? So the next step, we're supposed to make our first Android application. So that's why here I provide another link into the YouTube. So that will be our first particular practical task, which is supposed to be done in the computer room. So, but again, here there is the YouTube video with the step-by-step instruction how to create that particular application. So you again can easily get access to that video and try your own very first application in Android. So that application you can launch in your mobile device. So that will be your first step in Android programming. So you can also do this. Okay, so and the next what we are going to discuss is the different examples of the Android application, what we can create in our class. So the first application what we will discuss even now is the calculator. Okay, so I already opened the calculator. So the calculator. So this is the source code that may not be interesting. Okay, so here is the design. Anyway, so that will be happening later. So this is just an example how it may work. So in order to launch that application, so again, many details may not be clear here, but anyway, so what is this? this is our the shape, the virtual mobile phone, what we can launch in our application. This is not real. So, but that particular emulator, that virtual mobile phone, enable Android Studio to launch different Android application like without having the real device. So this is the calculator app. So you can see it here, and we can use, for example, 10 plus 20 equal 30. So such kind of application, so we will be able to make. So here, the delete button works, so plus minus button. Anyway, so the details about it we will discuss later. So this is the application what we can create using the Android Studio. Very simple calculator. So again, all details about how to make that particular application, so we can discuss. So another application what will be interesting to see here. So this is another version of the calculator. So I call it like two-line calculator. So now see, if I want to launch this new application, so just click this green triangle, and instead of this, okay, that's already appeared. See the calculator, two lines. So this calculator is slightly different compared to the previous version, because now we can see both numbers, what I am using to process the calculation. So very similar calculator is given in the Windows, in Microsoft Windows. So that's why you can always do the same. So and any other manipulation is also possible in this calculator. So very simple task, but we will discuss how to make that particular application and many others. Okay, so the next application, big set of application what we will discuss is the application with the computer graphics. Very interesting topic. So here, if you want to draw and animate something in your mobile phone, so that particular knowledge will definitely help you. So in very first application, what we will talk about is how to draw the simple graphical object in the mobile phone screen. And as a result of that particular talk, so you will be able to make your own house, draw your own house. So how does it work? So this is the house application. So again, I can launch it. So and you can see not really like crazy complex, but yes, that may need special knowledge, like in order to create some different graphical object in the screen. So then this is the house, the set of different graphical objects displayed together. Okay, so definitely such kind of drawing will need extra knowledge. So and we will discuss them during the course. So and the next application what I want to show you today, this is the application with the animation. So when details about the computer graphics will become clear, so we can move to the next level and implement the different animation with our graphical objects. And here where is the Turtle application, so where we so this is the Turtle application. So in that application, I implemented touch idea and real animation, like the entire animation. So if I will click on the turtle, so it start moving the head, legs and tail. So in that application we will also discuss in the class, like how to create such kind of complex animation, how to implement the clicking facilities. Okay, so that's the how many 4 different applications what we already discussed related to the general topic of our class details, what exactly we will do during the class. So that is the example of application what we will create during the class. Let's talk about the class structure. So what is exactly so we supposed to say here? So as usual, our class course will contain 16 study weeks. So during that weeks, so we will share our study plan through those 16 weeks, and so we will talk and discuss and solve different applications, different problems in that particular 16 weeks. So how will our lectures be designed? So my idea of making the programming lectures maybe slightly different. So what I will prefer to do is to create short lectures. So where during let's say like 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes, we will discuss some kind of theoretical aspects of what exactly we are going to do during the class. So, and after that, we will start programming, start using that particular theoretical knowledge in order to make something practical. So that implies that we will have a lot of class practice. So in the class, we will discuss how to make a different application, how to solve different problems. So that's why every time in the lectures, so we will have some kind of particular practice. So it means that during the class, so we will create different applications. So that particular application you can save and later open and see what exactly we discuss during the class. Sometimes that will not be easy to follow because some concepts may not be clear in the beginning. So that's why so I am using the concept of the video lectures. So and the main topics. So we will discuss through the video lectures. So the class structure will looks like this. Every week on Monday, so I will upload video materials for the current week studies as it is displayed right here. So in that particular video course, so we will be able, like we will focus on solving one particular problem. So that video lecture is the combination of the short lectures and the class practice. And in many sense, that particular video lecture will be nothing else as the step-by-step instruction of creating the different Android application. So, and by just following those particular video lectures guidelines, you can mimic, create exactly the same application what we are discussing during the video lecture. So that will for sure help you in understanding what we discuss in short lectures and what exactly happened in the class practice. Sometimes the class practice and the video material will link to the same problem. And here, if something will not be clear in the class, so you can always go to the video lecture and kind of watch it again, see what's going on, try to repeat everything one by one. And so if you need, you can stop, like think, create, and after that continue. So, and one certain application design may take as much time as you need. That will not be limited by the lecture time. So that's why I really like that concept of making the video lectures. So that's why every week we will have at least one video lecture. Sometimes the number of video lectures will be more than one, because usually one lecture cover one problem. And during the week, we may try to solve, let's say, 2 or 3 problems, sometimes maybe combined. Okay, so that's our lecture structure, mostly based on the video lectures. So nowadays, due to virus situation, so that particular strategy will be the most optimal. So you will have video lectures, what you can handle at home, and during the practical classes, what will be open in the university, so we can meet and discuss the problem related to the video lectures. So we may have those particular short lectures and class practice. Once again, in this particular coursework, so we will meet and study in the computer room. If I'm not mistaken, that will be D504. Maybe changed, but maybe not. Maybe will be fixed. I hope will be fixed, and that will be the D504. At least in the schedule, it is given 504. Okay, so like exam, also during the course, we will have 2 exams, same as usual, midterm, final term. Compared to other classes, what practical programming classes, what you could already finished before. So this particular course may be slightly different, because during the exams I will ask you to create and solve different problems in practice. So means that for the midterm and final term, so you're supposed to create application. So that will be no questions about like some theoretical aspects. So that will be 100% practical implementation of something what I will ask. Midterm and final term is exactly 4 problems. So solve 4 problems, got 100% credit for the midterm and final. And as long as, again, this class mostly practical, so here important part will be the assignment. The number of assignment is not fixed yet, but again, after finishing study some certain portion of knowledge, portion of different topics, so I will give you the assignment. And that particular assignment, that assignment will be the application, what you're supposed to solve, based on the material, what we already discussed during the classwork and during the video lectures. So finally, a combination of the attendance, midterm, final term, and assignment will be your final grade, but we will come back to that a little bit later. Okay, so the next is the class details. So for Android programming, we need a specific programming tool. So partially we already discussed it. So that will be Android Studio 4.1. So you can come back. There is the link to another video lectures where I am discussing how to install Android Studio. The latest one is 4.1. So that can be even other version of the Android Studio. From my experience, the Android Studio is updated pretty quickly. So maybe until the end of this semester, so the Android Studio version will be different from 4.1. So that may happen. So don't be worried about this part. Hardware. So hardware is a little bit tricky in this class because of many issues. See, as long as we are talking about the Android programming, so we must use Android smartphone or Android tablet. So this is the best option for our class. So the problem is, what if your mobile phone is iPhone? So you are using Apple device, and definitely you cannot use the Apple smartphone for Android programming. So they are following two different philosophy. So iPhone need iOS programming and Xcode to be coded. So Android mobile devices used Android operation system, and we need Android Studio to coding them. So for the iPhone users, so I will recommend to use GPads from our department. So we do have briefly 30 GPads, so that's why that should not be a big problem. So in the class, I will bring those particular GPads. So you, by the way, you can assign GPads from the department office. So I will also check that particular things. At least last semesters that was possible. So, and if you don't have your own device, like you do have iPhone, so you can request GPad for study from our department. That is not clear, but at least these opportunities exist. So, and as default, I will bring minimum 20 GPads in the class when we will meet for practice. So, and you can use it. Okay, so the next is the class material. So the partially we already discussed that part. So our main source of knowledge will be developers Android website. So you can go and watch what is it. As I mentioned before, the developers website, even if they pretend to say this is for the beginners, so this is simple and easy, sometimes that's became really messy to get some necessary knowledge. So that's why we need lectures, so we need some kind of practical guidelines, how to study, how to understand the different concepts, and how to code different application in Android. So right here, where is the link to the guidelines for the beginner? You can briefly going through and see what is that. So same as we're doing now, presentation, so PPT file and discussion about what exactly is going on. So that will also exist in our course. Not much, not every lecture, because again, the main topic and main focus on our lectures is solving some certain problem by creating different applications. So definitely will be the explanation about what exact problem we must solve. Sometimes it needs PPT, sometimes the problem is pretty simple. We don't need to have any extra specific material for that. So that's why, again, presentation here is an optional. So the more important is how to make source code. And video guidelines. So the example of video guidelines you already saw before that talk. So, and another important concept, important component of our class is the source code. So because even if you watch the video, so you try to implement what was given in the video lecture, and for some reason it doesn't work. So that may also happen. Sometimes that's happened pretty often. Depends on many different factors, which is not really depends on us. Mostly it is depending on the Google policy of updating Android Studio. very simple scenario. For example, when I made my application, so I used all the version of the Android Studio. See, because like I'm making a video first, so and at that time Android Studio was not updated and it was working fine. So a week later, when you start watching that particular video, Android was updated. Android Studio was updated. So it means that your current version of Android is different from what is in the explanation of the video. So that may be the reason why application, what you are trying to mimic step by step, one by one, in video lecture may have some difficulties. So that's why, especially for the classwork, all the source code will be given. So it means that you can always download that particular material, that particular source code from eCyber and launch it in your computer. So launch it in your mobile device, and the guarantee that it will work is higher than if you will try to do it by yourself. So we need such kind of backup for some applications. So that's why that backup will be again given in the eCyber. So that's plus details what we may have. Okay, so and now exams and evaluation. Exams. As I mentioned, the exams will be slightly different from what you may experience before. So each exam, midterm and final, will contain 4 problems. So each problem is one application. So it means during the exam, you're supposed to create 4 applications to solve 4 different problems. So this is hard, but as you can see here, so this exams is open book, open source. So it means that everything what you already create at that particular moment, you can use to create, to solve your midterm, final term problem. Same with the books. So you may see that I announced one single book for the Android programming, but the problem with the books that they are usually not really reliable for the current topic. So later, when we will start talking about solving different problem in Android, so we can cover that particular like book issue more precisely. So right now, I can say that the using even the book what I recommend may not be always helpful. So sometimes even the developer's website cannot help much in solving the different problems related to the Android programming. So that's why again, so here the like situation is much harder than usual, and that's why I always practicing open book, open source. So you can use whenever you want during the exam. You can Google, you can search, but the problem is that your time is very limited. So you cannot spend much time on trying to find how to solve that particular problem. 100% you cannot find the solution in internet, and you must make your own solution. This is the point of this class. So we are practicing on solving different problems for Android programming. Okay, and evaluation. That's pretty much normal. So 30% home assignment, 30% midterm, 30% final term, 10% attendance. So attendance for the online lectures like what we have right now will be slightly different. So and that particular the proof of online lecture attendance you may find in the explanation for the online lecture in eCyber. So I will make like details guideline how to create a proof for online lectures attendance. So general attendance is nothing special. Just go to the class and you're supposed to be there. So if any kind of updates related to the virus situation, related to the attendance, so will be announced in our university. So I will name it and we will follow the university rules. So from that point of view, nothing special. That will be exactly the same as it is presented in the university, like based on the university regulation. Okay, and that's all for the today. So for today explanation, so I highly recommend to visit my lectures related to the Android programming. So this is extremely important topic. So even if you don't really want to connect your future career with the programming, so it is pretty interesting to know how to make your own application on your mobile device. So that particular knowledge may help you a lot. So some of my students actually became quite good programmers in different companies. He is working on Samsung. So Samsung actually needs a lot of engineers who knows Android programming well. As you know, the all Samsung phone they powered by Android. So definitely Samsung need a lot of engineers who can do the Android programming. And in this course, we are focusing on exact problems, exact solutions, exact applications related to the Android programming. So that's why this class will definitely help you in the future area. So that's all for today. So see you on the practical classes. So also watch the video lectures where I'm going to present that particular different problems for Android. Good luck, goodbye.